I was talking to a man. God was showing me something, how demons operate. I was talking to a man in my office. God said to me, he said, I will show you how demons operate. You must understand, addiction is not just a decision, it's a walk of spirit. Addiction is a walk of spirit. There are people that can smoke anything. They can even smoke you if you are not careful. It's an addiction. It's a walk of spirit. There are people bound with strange spirits. The Bible says in Mark chapter 5 verse 1, and Jesus entered into the city of the Gadara, and he met a man that was bound by spirit. The Bible says this man, many times he has been bound with chains, and he had cut them asunder, and this man began to cut himself. When Jesus saw it, Jesus asked the demon, what is your name? And the spirit said, we are many. He was asking for an identity, but the spirit said, you are many. Is it bad behavior? It is here. Is it infirmity? It is here. Is it struggle? It is here. Which spirit are you actually looking for? We are many. There are so many of you tonight. If I ask you what is the battle in your life, you say, Apostle, they are many. Because in marriage there is a crisis, in health there is a crisis, in finances there are many. You ask somebody, what about your siblings? What is going on? You can't really define it, because the first one has a crisis in the home, the second has a crisis in the health, another has a crisis financially. They are many. You look around and there are goals and dreams you had. You ask yourself a question, where do I really need God in my life? Is it in my health? Is it in my home? Is it in my finances? Is it the life of my children? Your needs are many. And Jesus spoke to that man and commanded the unclean spirits to leave. And that is what I've come to decree. In the next 25 minutes, when the power of God hits this place, every unclean spirit will leave you. I say every unclean spirit will leave you. Every unclean spirit will leave you. Take your seat. Alcoholic addiction is not a decision, it's a spirit. That is why all forms of drink come under the categories of what? Spirits. They are called what? What are alcoholic drink called? Spirits. Because they are controlled by spirits. You don't understand. An addiction. When our ministry was still under 5 years old, I would baptize people myself. And there was a man, we were baptizing the man. As I dipped him in water, a pipe, you know pipe, this smoking, this pipe, what's it called? A pipe, that's what it's called, right? That they use in smoking, came out of his pocket. Baptism day. Pipe came out of his pocket. As I baptized him, I didn't know I baptized the pipe. I saw the pipe floating. I said, they should get it. They got it. I said, why? He said, I just took the last shot. Just the last shot. Ooh, addiction. One time we were in the plane and there was a serious crisis. I saw the hostess. I saw them walking. I saw the host walking. I saw people walking. They were walking to the restroom and they brought out a man. A short flight. Less than 1 hour. He went to the restroom to smoke. And they held him. And before we landed, they called the control tower. They wanted security to come to the airport. And they came to the tarmac. And I was looking at the young man for 1 hour. And when the guy came down, the guy said, you don't understand. I can't help it. While the security were trying to talk to him, he was crying. They had not brought a handcuff. He gave them his hand. He said, I know it is wrong, but I can't. And I said to them, please, this is not a case you can handle. Can I pray with this young man? He turned to me. He said, Pastor, help me. I can't. Addiction, it is a spirit. A spirit. Am I communicating? It's a spirit. And there are people that are bound with some strange, demonic, diabolic addictions. And they ask themselves, when will help come? When will help come? when will help come? Today, as you hear the sound of my voice, every demonic influence, every strange and contrary spirit that has held you bound, that has held you on the spot, today it is broken. 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 Take your seat. You must understand, there are people. The Bible said the man was cutting himself. The devil set him on a mission of self-destruct. Self-destruct. There are people cutting themselves. Addiction. They are bound by themselves. Oh, can I talk to you? 2 weeks ago, I was just resting. And the Lord said to me to call one of my sons. He's a young man, about 39 or something. And he wasn't married. He's not married, rather. And the Lord said, call him. And I just had this leading. So I called him up on the phone. And I said, how are you? He said, Jesus. I said, no, not Jesus. How are you? He said, Papa, what have I done? I said, I can't call my son again. And I paused. I said, is there somebody around you? He said, no, I'm alone. I said, no, not now. Someone. He said, yes. And I said, who is by this name? And he mentioned it. He said, Jesus. I just met her 3 weeks ago. I said, she is from the witchcraft world. Break yourself free from her. He said, yes, I will. I said, did she tell you this? He said, yes. Did she tell you this? He said, yes. He said, since I met her, I noticed things around me started disappearing. Things are disappearing. My file, this, I'm looking for things. I said, leave her alone. He said, okay, sir. Okay, sir. I will, sir. I said, is your mom there? He gave the mom the phone. And I told the mom. The mom said, no, he didn't bring anybody home. I said, ask him. And mom asked. He confirmed and said, leave the lady. Now, he was excited. 3 days later, the mother called me. I said, there's a crisis in the house. The boy said, over his dead body. Over his dead body. He wouldn't let the lady be. The mother said, then you will die. So long our Father in the Lord has seen what will happen. Now that's not the drama. Dr. Fide, a week ago, the young man called me on the phone and said, the lady said, did a pastor call you? Told him the time. Told him the date. He said, he told you I'm a witch, right? Told him the conversation. So the young man said to me that he wants to hand his phone to me. He wants to keep the phone in my house. If she's calling, let the call be. Told the conversation. There are people. Listen, when God opens your eyes to understand the reality of the spirit world, you will not be careless. Am I communicating? There are people bound. There are strange manifestations, strange activities, strange. You are eating in the dream. It's not divine provision. It is witchcraft. Eating in the dream is not divine provision. It is witchcraft. Sex in the dream is not divine satisfaction to your moral desires. It is spiritual husband. Are you following what I'm talking about? You must begin to understand that there are people back. I'm sorry to say, some carry their Bibles with their hand, some are praying, but there are demonic interferences and demonic influences in their lives. Some people get a job and they can't keep the job. Something happened and they lose the job. A man grew up to a managerial level in an OFM. An OFM. Managerial level. He grew to a managerial level in an OFM. But he had somebody who was just above him. He was number 2. One day he came to work and the immediate boss looked at him and said to him, what's wrong with you? Why are you coming now? Are you crazy? He took it personal. Am I crazy? After over 20 years of working with this company, am I crazy? No. Am Am I crazy? Me? Crazy? As in literally crazy? Oh no. He went there and was fuming, boiling, and wrote his resignation letter. Managerial level. Wrote his letter that he was done. Handed over. Am I me crazy? There are people that think that words get to them. It's not words that get to you. It is spirits that have possessed you to react. Don't waste your time trying to correct anybody who is bound by a spirit. Give them time. When it clears, their eyes will be open. See, there are certain words I don't like. It's not you. There are spirits inside you. You know, it's not you. How can you mean my husband said this to me? Me? No, me. No, it's over. Like O to the V to the E to the arrow. Like over. Me. There are spirits. You don't select tones and dictate languages when you are being counseled. You don't. You are being counseled. There are spirits, and you can't deal with that in the flesh. When a person is being manipulated, oh Lord. Galatians 3 verse 1. Bring it up. Galatians 3 verse 1. Who has bewitched you? Oh, foolish Galatians. Who? Is that Dutch? Who can read that in Dutch? Who can read that in Dutch? Oh, the Galatia. Oh, Dome. Do we have people who can read that? Can you read that? Okay, come read that. Give her a microphone there. Can you see it? This one. There's no sound on that. Put the sound.
O domme Galaten, wie heeft jullie betoverd? Hoe kan het dat jullie het goede nieuws niet langer gehoorzamen? Ik heb jullie toch zo duidelijk de gekruisigde Christus beschreven.
What did he say? Did she read so fluently like that? Can you read it again? Okay, read it again.
O domme Galaten, wie heeft jullie betoverd? Hoe kan het dat jullie het goede nieuws niet langer gehoorzamen? Ik heb jullie toch zo duidelijk de gekruisigde Christus beschreven.
Oh. God bless you. God bless you. Who has bewitched you? Oh, foolish Galatians. Now the Galatian church was a wealthy church. The Galatian church was an influential church. So Paul said, who has bewitched you, O foolish Galatians? Meaning, once a person is bewitched, he starts behaving like a fool. The traits and the effect of being bewitched is that you behave like, who has bewitched you, O foolish Galatians? O foolish. So there are people bound by strength. This life is spiritual. You must understand the spirituality of life. I want to ask you a question. Look at that. When Jacob spoke, a conversation between him and the mother. Are you sure this is what my father said? He said, yes, come to. Now, the instruction that was given to Esau was not just Esau that heard it. Rebekah heard it. Rebekah equally heard the instruction. The instruction, go get venison such as I love, that I may eat and my soul may bless you. Esau went out to get venison. When Jacob came, the mother gave him the venison at home. So what Esau went to look for outside was where? Yeah, that's spiritual blindness. When the devil wants to ruin a person, he manipulates you from the place of supply. He manipulates you from the place of increase. He manipulates from the place of abundance. He manipulates you. There's nobody under manipulation that can be corrected, because it's a program. It's a satanic program. You talk to a young, you say, no, I know what I'm doing. It's like a spell. Something has possessed you. I was talking to a man. God was showing me something, how demons operate. I was talking to a man in my office. God said to me, he said, I will show you how demons operate. If you see demons, you'll be angry. You'll be very angry. Is this what is chasing me? How do I give? Demons are about this height. From this place, not from the ground. Not from the floor. From this place, about this height. I'm telling you, very smallish. Something happened in my office. And I was talking. All of a sudden, I saw something from the ground. Just pew, enter the man. The next day I saw the man to the wife. Pa! And it jumped out and disappeared. And the Lord said, this is how they operate. I saw it leave the ground and jump into the man. As he jumped, the wife was still talking. As he jumped to the man turned and gave her a deadly slap in front of me. Pa! In less than a minute, he jumped out. And I was like, but, and God said, this is how it operates. And it comes on you. You know your name. You know your house. You know those around you. But you can't control what you are doing. And one of the signs that you don't listen. You don't want to hear nothing. You don't listen to nobody. It's out. Oh, do you know how many women have been ruined today by a manipulation? How many men? And this is Europe. This is Europe. If I see anything now, you get angry. And honestly, the truth is, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't arrest me. It's not possible. But I'll tell you the truth. There are people in the West who are too lazy to pray. There are people in Europe and America that are too lazy to pray. I was in Germany the other day and I was shocked. At the back, I saw coffee. So what is this? We just take coffee. I like my coffee decaffeinated. In church? Yeah. And that's how we package things now to attract the people to come. So people come and they're so spiritually lazy. And demons are operating. Am I communicating? How do we deal? Power over unclean spirits. It takes power to put an end to their operations. The devil is active. The devil is active. The devil is working. I'm telling you the truth. Listen to me. Growing up. Well, not growing up. Not even growing up. A few years ago, about 30 years ago, you hardly hear the case autistic. It was strange. Children were born normal. But you can see a demonic agenda that some people go to a hospital and they must be told to take certain injections. Who are you following I'm talking about? They tell them to take it. The child is born, 3 months okay, 6 months okay. Under 2 years is when the arrangement happens. And you speak, crisis. Because they control everywhere. Because spirits are after our children. The Bible tells us that a mother slept. You know, those two women were both stupid people. A woman slept on her child till the child died. You are a woman, you are sleeping, and your child is dying. What kind of sleep did you sleep that your child died? And you, what kind of sleep are you sleeping that they came and collected your baby, and both of them were stupid people? You slept and rolled on your child. No baby dies without a scream, without crying. You were so sleepy that the baby was crying, you didn't hear of it. And the other one, they came and collected your baby and you were still sleeping. Mothers are sleeping while children are dying. Mothers are sleeping when their babies have been exchanged. God is looking for willing women, praying women that will say to themselves, Satan, you are a liar. You can't take my baby. You can't take my son. You can't take my daughter. When my daughter, the apostle from France, I saw the son come out. I turned to my wife, I turned to Dr. K. I said, this woman fought for this boy to live. Because I know how she would be in the hospital sometimes. She would mention, he said, I'm in the hospital. Do you know what it means? Doctors tell you go with the child. A mother said, no, I can't bury my baby. There are some of you under the sound of my voice. There are certain spirits, certain demonic possessions on children. And there are some of you that are spirits that say you can't really have a child of your own. There are powers that have possessed children in Europe, possessed children in Germany, in Paris, possessed children in Italy, in Spain, possessed children in Holland. I come to agree with you as a mother, as a father. I come to pray for your children. Your children will not be useless. They will not be polluted. They will not be corrupted. I pray for your children. The hand of God will be upon them. God will protect them. God will keep them. I pray for you right now. Every force that has held your womb, that you can't have a baby, that power is broken. Let God arise. Let his enemies be scattered. Who is it that saith a thing, and it cometh to pass when the Lord commanded it not? Have you not heard? Have you not known that the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth, neither fainted nor is he weary? There's no searching to his understanding. He giveth power to the faint. The young man may fall and the youth may fail, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not go weary. They shall walk and not faint. I speak against demonic powers. I speak against satanic influence. I speak against powers that corrupt children. I pray for your child. I pray for your spouse. I pray for your partner. Let the yoke be broken. The Bible says in Luke chapter 10 verse 19, behold, I give unto you power over all the powers of the enemy, and nothing shall by enemies hurt you. I exercise dominion over demonic spirits. I project myself to where your son is, to where your daughter is. I project myself to where your people are. I decree, let God arise. Let his enemies be scattered. Let God arise. Let the yoke be broken. You don't serve a dead God. You serve a mighty God. He is the same yesterday. He is the same today. He is the same forever. When God says yes, no man can say no. When God lifts you up, no man can bring you down. God is on your side. Power is on your side. Glory is on your side. Favor is on your side. Somebody shout fire, fire, fire. Be seated. My daughter, one of my biological children said to me, one day I came home, she was about 8 years old or so. She was very young. That was like many years ago. And she said, Dad, I saw a man was wrestling with me, fighting with me. I said, it was because I traveled. She said, what? I said, because I traveled, that's why the man came to your dream. I'm around. Let him come back. Dad, what do you have to say? I said, go to bed, I'm around. There is, why am I saying that? There is a covering. There's a covering. There's a covering. I'm telling you the truth. There are things you will not allow. Your children cannot be wasted. Your children cannot be corrupted. Only the plan of God for them will come to pass. Contrary devils. Contrary devils. And there are people that don't understand that. And that's when I look at some of them around the world. In Europe, in Holland, in Germany, it's called voodoo. It's done by all kinds of people. All kinds of people, spirits. Shameless spirits. Shameless spirits. People are sleeping at night and you come out of your body and you are flying. Shameless. Have you seen people that fly? KLM, Air France. That's how to fly. Take people to their destination. That's how to fly. At night you come out. You are not flying. You are stupid. At night. You want to fly? Emirates. United. That's how to fly. Fly and make profit. Fly and make profit. Is this how to fly? You are flying and oppressing people, flying and possessing people. Your full life, you turn yourself to a bird. Not even a beautiful bird, ugly bird at that. And is that how to fly?